My 10 favorite songs from BLINK-182, formed in the early 90s in Southern California. Their first album was released in 1995. They've had 9 albums since then, with their most recent being in 2023. Their first 5 albums came out in rapid fire. Every 2 years they had an album for the first 10 years. Mark Hoppus, their bass player, is the only person who's been in the band since the beginning and hasn't changed. Very well known for Travis Barker as their drummer. Their first 2 albums they had Scott Rayner. Travis Barker filled in for a few shows, then he became a permanent drummer. Tom DeLonge was the original guitar player, but he's left the band twice, plays for about 10 years, leaves, plays for about 10 years, leaves. He's back again though. During one of those stints, Matt Skiba, who's known from Alkaline Trio, filled in. They did 2 albums with him, and I said they're a pop punk band, but they probably are the most successful pop punk band of all time. One More Time, the title track to their 9th album released in 2023, was also the second single from that album. And this song did use some outside songwriters, but I feel like it still hits really close to home for BLINK-182. Tom's wife, when she heard it, got emotional. I heard the song the first time on the radio and got emotional. The song would be higher on the list, but I can't really listen to it because I get emotional. It was 2024 year-end Billboard's #1, and it was record-breaking on the rock and alternative charts for how long it was on the charts. Very different song from a typical Blink song. You got acoustic guitar throughout, you got piano, you got Travis using brushes on the drums. As you probably know, Blink's been through some hard times, and this song is really reflecting on that. If you don't feel something when you hear this song, you don't have feelings. Apple Shampoo from their second album, Dude Ranch, in 1997. Mark wrote this song about a girl that he was in a relationship with. She was in a ska band and they would play shows together. He thought her hair always smelled like apple shampoo. This was a single, but only in Australia, and it was released when they were doing the Warped Tour there. B-side was the Good Times TV show theme. Good Times was also the name of the previous tour they had done. This song has a very cool build-up, and then once it goes, and I love it. Carrousel, the opening track to their debut record in 1995, Cheshire Cat. This was also on their first major demo, Buddha. And the first time Tom and Mark got together, they partially wrote this song through a jam session. This song's about starting to become an adult and the nostalgia of looking back at school. Great songwriting. They're just supposed to be some punk band, but this song is awesome. Tons of song structure, so many cool parts. You got guitar solos, you got bass guitar solos. Such a kick-ass song. Aliens Exist from Enema of the State, their 3rd album in 1999. This song is always played a lot when Tom is in the band. If you didn't know, Tom started a company called To the Stars. It's a really big deal. The Pentagon in 2017 made a whole division dedicated to extraterrestrial type stuff, majorly because of this company. This wasn't a single, but when they were on Jay Leno in the year 2000, they still played this song on there. Even when Matt Skiba was in the band, they would play it. When Tom is doing Angels and Airwaves, they do a Blink medley sometimes, and this is in that. Travis Barker's buddy Machine Gun Kelly has a song called Concert for Aliens, which is an homage to this song. And I think it's kind of a progressive song for Blink. She's Out of Her Mind from California, their 7th album in 2016. This is the second single from that album, and this was the first album to have Matt Skiba filling in for Tom. John Feldman from Goldfinger is also a producer and co-writer of this song. And this song isn't about a girl specifically, it's collectively about all the crazy girls all the guys in the band have dated. Initially, when the song was being written, it was called The Orange County Girl. And there's a piano part on here that's played by Travis Barker's daughter. This album as a whole is a darker album, and they almost didn't include this song. Travis is the one who really pushed to keep it. He wanted it as like a throwback to earlier Blink days. And when I first saw them playing with Matt Skiba, or even heard them, it was doing this on Jimmy Kimmel Live. Toast and Bananas from their first album, Cheshire Cat, in 1995. This is just an album track, but it was also on their first major demo, Buddha. I love the guitar and vocal intro to this song. I discovered BLINK-182 around when I started playing guitar, which is when I was around 13. This song specifically was a huge influence on me. I've moved from Los Angeles to Maryland when I was a teenager, rural Maryland from Los Angeles. I didn't fit in, and this song really meant a lot to me. The lyrics were too mature for me to really understand. I knew they meant something about not being accepted, but having self-confidence. I also love that this song has a guitar solo, which you don't get in a lot of BLINK-182 songs. 6-8 from their 7th album, California, in 2016. This is such a heavy song. It does not sound like a BLINK-182 song initially at all. Definitely an influence from Matt Skiba, and I think it's awesome. With him influencing it as much as it sounds like he has, I thought he would have been the lead singer. You only really get him doing some screams in the background, which is also awesome. You don't really get screams in a lot of Blink songs. You do get kind of a poppy, hooky chorus with a pretty vocal melody. You do get more of the screaming in the bridge with Matt leading it again. But you're getting things like blast beats on drums. Travis is known as being an awesome drummer, but I don't think he's really known as sounding like this type of drumming. Very overlooked Blink-182 song. Dance With Me, the third single from their 9th album, One More Time, released in 2023. The producer and engineer is also co-writer. Travis is the one to make this song fast and dancey. He was really pushing for that with it. I really feel like this is the quintessential Blink song in their later catalog. You get a great line from Tom when it starts, kind of like the old days. And I feel like it's a very serious song for the most part, but then you get to the whole ole, ole, ole part, and then it gets more pop punky again and less indie rock. To me, this is kind of what separates Angels and Airwaves from Blink-182, is songs like this. This album has a lot of great songs, but this one is the best. Tom's back in the band, and it sounds awesome. The Party Song from Enema of the State in 1999, their third album. And this song was inspired by a San Diego State University party that Mark attended. Didn't like the scene of what he saw going down. It's the shortest song on the album. It's very fast. I think it's very cool and punk rock. You hear him take a breath before the song starts because it's fast, like I said, and once it goes, it just goes. There are dynamic changes and rhythm changes to give it some breath and things like that, but it never slows down. I like the cool doo-woppy sha-na-na-na stuff. It's very Ramones, very Beach Boys, and very cool. First Date from Take Off Your Pants and Jacket, their fourth album in 2001. This is the second single from that album, and it was written about Tom's first wife. She was pretty awesome. She had Jimmy Eat World play at their wedding, which is his favorite band. They were making this album and their manager said it didn't have a feel-good summer hit. Mark wrote The Rock Show and then Tom wrote this song. I think Rock Show is a pretty awesome song too, but this song is awesome. Not only is it awesome, it's their best song. It was meant to be a throwaway summertime single. It ended up being the biggest song on the album. It was on the Billboard charts for 6 months. Tom's my favorite one in the band. This song has everything a pop punk song should have, done perfectly.